Why is it so hard to sit still, even for just 5 minutes? You close your eyes, take a deep breath, and boom, your mind erupts. Memories, worries, plans, regrets. 1,000 voices screaming for your attention. You're not broken, you're not weak, you're human. But what if I told you you could master this chaos, not by fighting it, but by understanding it? That's what the Buddha discovered. And that's what I'm going to show you, step by step, in this journey. This is not just another motivational video. This is a practical guide, drawn from ancient wisdom and real techniques to help you calm your mind, find peace within, and start living with presence. So take a breath. Let's begin. The Buddha never said, control your mind. He said, understand it. Because the mind is not your enemy. It's like a wild elephant, massive, powerful, intelligent. But left untrained, it will stampede and destroy everything in its path. So let's ask the real question. What is the mind? In Buddhist psychology, the mind isn't one thing. It's a stream, thoughts, images, emotions, memories, flowing like a river, constantly moving, changing, reacting. And here's the twist. You're not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. That's the first key. Before we can master the mind, we must separate our awareness from the noise. Let me tell you a story. Once, a young monk asked the Buddha, why can't I find peace? Every time I sit to meditate, my thoughts attack me. The Buddha said nothing. He handed the monk a bowl of water and said, look into it. The monk looked. The water was muddy. He couldn't see anything. The Buddha smiled. Now let it sit. Minutes passed. The mud slowly settled. The surface cleared. Now the monk could see his reflection. The Buddha said, your mind is like this water, stirred by desires, fears, thoughts. Let it rest, and clarity will come. That's mindfulness. Not silencing the mind, but letting it settle. Not stopping thoughts, but letting them pass without grabbing them. This is the beginning. So why is it so hard to be calm? Why is your mind restless, even when life is peaceful? Because the mind is addicted to movement. It's built to scan for danger, to plan, to analyze, to protect you. Even when there's no threat, it jumps from the past to the future, skipping the present, always searching, always fearing, always wanting. This is what the Buddha called dukkha. The unsatisfaction of existence. It's not about pain alone. It's the constant craving, the feeling that something's missing. Even in comfort, the mind whispers, this isn't enough. You need more. Fix this. Change that. The result, a restless mind, a body full of tension, a heart never at peace. But once you see this pattern, you gain power. Because what you see clearly, you can transform.
So what's the solution? It's not to escape the mind. It's not to numb it. It's to meet it mindfully. Mindfulness is not just sitting in silence. It's the art of being fully here, aware, awake, not lost in thought, but watching it. Here's how the Buddha taught it. Be mindful of the body. Be mindful of feelings. Be mindful of the mind. Be mindful of mind objects. Let's break that down. So what's the solution? It's not to escape the mind. It's not to numb it. It's to meet it mindfully. Mindfulness is not just sitting in silence. It's the art of being fully here, aware, awake, not lost in thought, but watching it. Here's how the Buddha taught it. Be mindful of the body. Be mindful of feelings. Be mindful of the mind. Be mindful of mind objects. Let's break that down.
Here's a 2-minute focus practice you can try right now. Sit still. Close your eyes. Pick one object of focus. Your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Count it silently. 1, 2, 3. If your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back. No frustration. This act of returning is the training. It's not about forcing concentration. It's about returning to it again and again. Just like lifting weights builds muscle, returning builds mental strength. But this isn't the end. You've trained your focus. You've learned to watch your thought, and meet your emotions with awareness. But there's still something deeper, the force that drives those thoughts and feelings, the root of restlessness, the seed of suffering. The Buddha called it tanha, craving. And until we understand this craving, the mind can never fully be at peace. Why do you scroll endlessly through your phone? Why do you feel that itch when you're bored? Why do you always want something more? That's craving, not always for objects, sometimes for states. I want to feel inspired. I want to be liked. I want this pain to go away. The Buddha explained that all suffering begins with craving, the thirst for something we don't have, or the fear of losing what we do. And this craving never ends. You get the thing, but soon you want something else. The mind says, just one more goal, just one more hit of dopamine. It's like drinking salty water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. But here's the twist. Craving isn't evil. It's human. It becomes suffering only when you don't see it.
Let's be honest. How many times have you said something in anger, then later thought, why did I lose control like that? That's because emotions don't knock. They barge in. They take over your breathing, your posture, your voice, and hijack the mind like a storm crashing through glass. The Buddha understood this deeply. He taught, just as a tree shaken by the wind is unstable, so too is the mind shaken by emotions. So how do we handle them? Not by suppressing them, and not by acting them out, but by learning to observe them as they rise. Here's the golden rule. A feeling lasts only seconds, unless we feed it. The Awan method, emotional awareness. When a strong emotion arises, fear, anger, jealousy, don't run, don't react. Instead, use the Buddha-inspired RAIN technique. R, recognize, label the emotion. This is anger. This is sadness. Naming it creates space between you and the feeling. A, allow, let it be there. Don't resist or pretend. Say inwardly, it's okay to feel this. I, investigate. Where do you feel it? Chest, stomach, shoulders? What thoughts are feeding it? Bring curiosity, not judgment. Eden in non-identification. This is the big one. Say to yourself, this is just a wave, not who I am. You are the sky. The emotion is just weather.